Okay, Phillip here. Just wanted to make a little short video, give you some information. We've had several questions over the years about the difference between a porterhouse and a T-bone. I even had somebody tell me one time that they didn't like the taste of a T-bone, they wanted a New York strip. Well, I just want to give some information, clear some things up. This here is what we refer to in the industry, wholesale industry. This is a short loin off of a beef, which is only part of the loin. A whole loin consists of the sirloin also, along with the short loin. So this would be one piece and it would all have a bone on it. The pelvis bone would be laying right in here. And this is a sirloin, what most people are used to buying in the grocery store as a top sirloin. I don't know why they call it a top sirloin, but this is a top sirloin, okay? So that's the sirloin. This is the short loin. The short loin consists of the tenderloin. This is would be a whole tenderloin, but I have cut it off for demonstration purposes. I've cut this piece off. This piece is connected to the sirloin. It's on one side of the bone on the sirloin. This piece would be right there. You see it right here. I did not pull it off of this loin because if I pulled that off, it's pretty much ruined for what I'm going to use it for. Okay, so this is the tenderloin. The tenderloin lays right here on the inside. This would be the inside of the body cavity. So it consists of the tenderloin, and then down here on this side would be, this is the tenderloin here. This up here is the New York strip, and then you have the vertebrae and the bone through the middle that makes the T. Okay, so this is a porterhouse. This one's a porterhouse. If you'll see here, it's got a third muscle on it. This little piece of muscle right here is part of the sirloin. This is where the sirloin ends and the loin starts. So it has a little piece of the sirloin on it. So textbook, that's what makes it a porterhouse, okay? It has three muscles: the tenderloin, the strip loin, and a little piece of sirloin on it. A lot of people refer to this as the his and her steak because you got the smaller tenderloin down here on the bottom, that's the her part, and then the big part up here for the his, okay? And then you come on down to the T-bone. The T-bone, you can see that the tenderloin is a whole lot smaller, and it even goes down to nothing. If you'll notice on this one right here, there's nothing on top of that bone. That would be still considered a T-bone. All right. Now, if I wanted to, I could bone this out right here. Just take a knife and I follow that bone around. Trim that up. Get this little piece of the rib off. If you'll notice on here, I don't know if you can see, but a short loin has the first rib on it. You cut it off between the last two ribs, the bottom two ribs of the beef. And then what would go from here is the ribeye. So you got the short loin, and then it goes to the ribeye. You bone it out, and you have a New York strip. So it's all the same piece of meat. And just for some reference, I know we have this old dairy cow here, but I mean for reference, it'll work just fine. This pelvis bone right here, from here back to the top of the tail, that is sirloin, and there's two, one on each side of the spine. And then you have from the pelvis bone up to the first rib is short loin, okay? And then from the next to last rib up to leaving five ribs you leave up here on the chunk. So from there to there would be the ribeye. So that's just for reference. You got the sirloin back here. Rump roast is right on the rump, then the sirloin, then the porterhouse and T-bones, the loin, and then the ribeye up here on this part here. So, just to let you know, once again, you got in a porterhouse, you have three steaks. You have the tenderloin or filet mignon. You have the New York strip, strip loin and a little piece here of sirloin. So then it comes right on down. You normally get 4 or 5, depending on how thick you cut them, 4 or 5 porterhouses. Then you get into the T-bone. Rest of that's T-bone. Hope this information is good for y'all. I hope it explains a lot. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to ask. I love explaining, especially if I'm not too busy. Y'all have a good day.